You got any thoughts on some of these individual names? Like, well, I guess we'll start with Tesla, with that being
Yeah.
probably the biggest earnings report of yesterday. You got any levels that you're looking for here on Tesla?
Well, I have to tell you, last night, and we were trading this after hours, and it did set up for an absolutely perfect trade. When I see, and yesterday, this is what I saw, and I don't know where Tesla's going to end up today, tomorrow, next week, who knows? But what I was seeing on all the feeds and everything, there wasn't anybody who wasn't bullish about Tesla going into this print. Calls, love it, going to be much higher than this. Obviously, we see that it hasn't done that, and it's down a bit today. But if we go back to last night when the earnings were announced, okay, we had a level from the previous week low. Check this out, guys. Our previous week low was $417.86. And if you look at the low that it made last night, it was $417.24. So we broke that previously low by less than 60 cents. And that's where we got the gigantic bounce up from. So we were around last night. We were trading this after earnings. We bought a little bit down here when we hit that level. Of course, we had a stop order if we were wrong, but it was a big level on a chart from a previous week low. And, obviously we bounced like 10 or 15 points from there. Now we're kind of sitting in nowhere's land, right? We're trading at $422. I might look for the double bottom down there in that level. Shorts would be up around 400. And I don't like shorting Tesla. I've never made money shorting Tesla.
Yeah, I was going to say I
Never.
totally get it. Totally get it.
But the first resistance is up around $426. Then our previous day low is around $429. Little longer view, we'll go out to our daily chart. 421 could be a little interesting area, although we broke that last night. 390 is my next real spot on my daily chart. So that's something I'll definitely write down to look at, 390. Let's go weekly. See where we are, support and resistance on our weekly chart. Here we go. 409.25 is weekly. So if we start bopping down from here, that would be the first spot that I look at, right around, let's call it 410, 409.50. If we spike down significantly from here. So what I'll do is we'll slap a little marker out there in Tesla. Put a little marker out at the 410 level. I mean, it's down 12 points from here. Easily can do that off the opening. So, but what I'll do is I will just put a marker out. I'll mark it pre-market. I don't want to commit to buying 200, 300, 500 shares there. But if we spike down to that level, 410, we take a look. If it looks like it's going to hold that, we grab a couple hundred shares with a stop. That's really the next big level on the chart. And then 390 below that. So that's definitely going to be one of our focuses today, in addition to all the futures and stuff that we're looking at.
Okay, awesome. Word of note there. We do have the 50-day moving average at 395 ahead of that 390 area that you have. And we also have a gap fill that fills the gap from the Friday, September 12th candle. That's also down pretty much right at the same area, about 396. So it looks like it got a 50-cent area there from the 50-day moving average to the gap fill area. That might be some pretty good support.
Yeah, and for a trade, maybe you start a little at the 395 small, you add at 390 and see what happens from there.
Okay. Now, on the flip side, if this thing all of a sudden shows some strength here and takes out its pre-market highs, or maybe gets back to where it closed yesterday prior to the report, are you looking for an upside trade on that at all?
Yeah. My first level that I think we have to get above would be right about here. What are we looking at? Let's call it 424, right? If we can get some momentum above that 424 level, that would be the first spot that I would look to jump in for a day trade. And, we could have a stop down at the low that it just made, 421, like a couple of bucks on that. So that would be my first level that we have to get above. Then the next resistance above that would be 426. That gives us $3. The next resistance above that would be 429. I think, what's up, Big Base? This is going to be extremely volatile today. So what I tell all my peeps, if you're trading this, is cut your size, right? If you're a 100-share trader, trade 50 shares. Give it a little more room and have the same amount of risk on every single trade that you do. If you're risking $200 on a trade, cut your size and risk your $200. But I think this is going to be all over the place this morning. So certainly will be the one.
I completely agree with you. I think you're going to have moves in both directions on this here today. We'll see if that ends up panning out.